All right, here's some big news coming in. It is China's global bid to hide its shocking and brutal anti-Muslim offensive in its Xinjiang province. China is asking the United Nations Human Rights Chief to bury a highly anticipated report on human rights violations in Xinjiang. According to the Chinese letter sent by that was seen by Reuters, here we're looking at China trying to suppress a report that speaks of large-scale atrocities against Muslims in China. China is trying to stall the letter, which can cause acute embarrassment on the global stage by exposing how it suppresses its Uyghur minorities, who are often force-fed pork, put in concentration camps to reorient them from their traditional beliefs. China, right now in an embarrassing spot, it's trying hard to really suppress a report that really would expose China on the many atrocities carried out against Muslims in China. It is China's global bid now to hide its shocking brutalities against Muslims. The anti-Muslim offensive in the Xinjiang province. China asking the United Nations Human Rights Chief to bury a highly anticipated report on human rights violations in Xinjiang, according to Chinese letter that's now highlighted by Reuters. China is trying to stall the letter, which can cause acute embarrassment on the global stage. Gaurav Sawant for more on that. Gaurav, China for long known to have been anti-Muslim. We're seeing China now trying to suppress a report that could possibly expose how it extensively suppresses its Uyghur minorities, who are often force-fed pork, put in concentration camps only to reorient them from their traditional beliefs. If this report does come out, it will bring them embarrassment on a global stage, and that's what China does not want.
You know, China is trying to browbeat countries at the United Nations so that the truth about what's happening in the Xinjiang province with the Uyghur people does not come out in public domain. And this report, this is the first time that the United Nations Human Rights Council was given access to Xinjiang, had intensive interaction with the judiciary in China, with Wang Yi, their state councillor and foreign minister, and also a video conference with Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. Now the report is anyways being criticized for being a watered down version of ground realities in China, and yet China does not want this picture to come out because it apparently this report has details of what happens in what is described by China as its reorientation camps or concentration camps, or how women are ill-treated, the Uyghur women are ill-treated by Han Chinese men, how their husbands of these Uyghur women, they are locked up in concentration camps. Their religious books, you know, the Holy Quran, that is not given the respect that the Holy Quran should get in these Chinese concentration camps. How mosques are defaced and removed, and toilets have been built in China, in the Xinjiang province, where mosques once stood. So all of these facts, some of these are likely to be highlighted, at least that is what is being said, and China does not want these facts to come out in public domain, and that is why it's not only trying to browbeat some countries, but also trying to browbeat the United Nations so that this report is not made public.
You know, this is highly shocking, and it's not something that that comes as a surprise, because this has been known for quite a while, and China, time and again, any kind of journalists or a media organization trying to probe into it have always been, you know, pulled up or sidelined or their voice muscled. At this point, this report would really speak of a lot, because we believe that this is not just the Uyghur minority Muslims, but any Muslim minority group in China are literally found and pushed into concentration camps. This is the kind of atrocities that they've meted out for decades now, which China does not want to come out. With the pressure now it's putting on the UN, how do you think the nations would receive this?
So, you know, a wire agency has accessed that letter. Independent diplomats have confirmed that China has written such a letter to various governments asking them to sign. I mean, look at how China tries to browbeat countries. China wants a signature from countries that such a report should not be made public. Otherwise, it would damage an organization like the United Nations and the Human Rights Council. And this is at a time when the Director General of the organization has visited I think it was sometimes in May that a visit to Xinjiang was carried out, extensive or at some level interaction was carried out with those in these so-called reorientation camps, where they visited also some other places in Xinjiang, interacted with people on ground, interacted with officials on ground, with the police, with judiciary. But this report apparently also talks about lack of oversight, lack of judicial oversight, lack of human rights for the people of Xinjiang, and China doesn't want all this information, Nabila, to come out in public domain.
You know, Gaurav, absolutely tragic. If this is the case, they must be pulled up. At this point, China desperately trying to suppress that report that really exposes the anti-Muslim rhetoric and almost a near genocide situation for the minority Muslims there in China. That's the report that suggests the kind of atrocities which is now trying to be suppressed.